A temporary account corrects accounting errors. So what is the suspense account? I'm Thomas Harwood and welcome to the Accounting Student, where we create free and short videos so that you can learn about accounting. Today's video is looking at what is a suspense account. In the previous video on the errors not affecting the trial balance, we looked at 6 main errors that do not affect the trial balance, but the balance is still incorrect. As well, there are some errors that mean that the trial balance totals do not equal. The most common include incorrect addition in any account, making an entry on only one side of the accounts. For example, there is a debit entry but no credit entry, or there is a credit entry but no debit entry. And finally, entering a different amount on the debit side from the amount on the credit side. For example, a debit entry was £100 and the credit entry was £110. When the trial balance totals do not equal, then an effort should be made to try to identify and resolve the errors. If for some reason the errors cannot be found, the totals from the trial balance can be made to agree and balance with each other by inserting the amount of the difference between the two totals in a suspense account. Subsequently, the errors should be found and corrected through the suspense account, and this would result in the account being cleared or having a balance of 0. A suspense account can be defined as a temporary account which is used when the appropriate account could not be determined at the time of recording. Let's have a look at a suspense account in practice. A suspense account is just like a normal T account or ledger account, and the left hand side is still a debit and the right hand side is still a credit. More simply, it still follows the rules of double entry. Okay, the trial balance for F Quinn as at the 31st of December 2016 looked like this. If you look at the totals, it shows that they do not balance. The first thing we should do is work out the difference between the totals, and that is £5,000 minus £4,725, which equals £275. So the credit total is £275 more than the debit total. Because there is a difference, a suspense account is required and therefore one is opened. The difference of £275 is entered in the trial balance to make the totals balance, and it is also entered in the suspense account. In this case, on the debit side with the description difference as per trial balance, like so. Then a few days later, 2 errors were discovered. The first error was a credit entry for a £175 payment received of a sale had been recorded correctly, but the matching debit entry has not been made. Firstly, you should identify the 2 accounts that the transaction affects, and they are the bank account and sales account. Then you should identify what account has a debit entry and what account has a credit entry. In this case, the bank account would have a debit entry and the sales account would have a credit entry. It says that the credit entry was correctly made and that the debit entry has not been made, so a debit entry needs to be made to increase the bank account. Therefore, we make a credit entry of £175 in the suspense account. The second error is that purchases were undercast by £100. This means that we need to increase purchases by £100. Therefore, we make a debit entry in the purchases account and we make a credit entry in the suspense account. If we were to balance off the suspense account now, both sides would total to £275 and there is no closing balance to be brought down. This means that the errors identified have now been corrected. So that was the explanation of the suspense account and the correction of errors. If you enjoyed it, press the like button. If you have a question you want answered, leave it in the comments below and we'll try our best to answer it. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you click the red subscribe button to keep updated with the Accounting Student. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.